Okay, so here's a simple way to encrypt your file or folder when you want to send an email to somebody so that your personal identifiable information is not exposed to the internet and people who are trying to get the information by quote-unquote sniffing the packet data. To do so, we'll use a open source freeware file archiver called 7-zip, and we would want to download from the main website, which is this one, not something like SourceForge and such. Go to 7-zip. You can go from here or go to download. They're the same thing. We would want 64-bit, and usually computers at this age should be 64-bit computers. If not, check your system. If it's 32, then download the 32-bit installer. We'll download 7-zip, 64-bit executable. Run the installation. Choose where the program will stay in your hard drive. For example, 64-bit for the program file in C drive. Install, and now it's ready. So for instance, let's say I had a file that's very sensitive. Let's make up one. Okay. Let's say it had my name, my date of birth, my address, my social security number, etc., etc. You know, sometimes you do have to share that information with your family member or your employer and so on, because they need that information for documentation. But if we don't take additional step to give a security when we send the information, it can be misused or mishandled when things go wrong. So let's say my name was in there. Date of birth, we'll just put a random number. There we go. And my address, 111. This is real address, and so on. So I'm gonna save it, put in the desktop just for this example. Let's see, I want the docx. I think that is it. P. Let's say this was let's call it sensitive information. Ask when not to save. Yes. So right now it's right there. Give it one moment. There we go. So let's say if I sent it as is, then you just open it. There's no password, there's no encryption, so you'd be able to see that my name is this, my date of birth is this, and my address is this. But if we want to encrypt it, what we would do is click the file, right click on your mouse. There should be a 7-zip now, and from here we'll do add to archive. So this is going to make a zip folder. Let's see. I'll change that to zip because that's more common than 7z extension. So this is the important part. So we want to change it to AES 256-bit encryption method. Make a strong, complex password, something that you would remember, not necessarily remember, but not something that is not very common word or all lowercase or numbers, or don't type in password, because that is the most used password by people, and bad actors know about that, and they have their dictionary that is used to automate the brute force or dictionary attack process. So let's say my password was this. Obviously, we want to use, especially if you're going to share it, we want to use character that is legible, because some characters look like I or L, looks very similar, or number 1. So take attention to that. Let's put some special characters as well. Think I'm missing, no. So I got digits or numbers, lowercase, uppercase, special characters as well. So let's say this is my password. Keep it temporarily documented so that you know what the password is to share. Usually this method is like a one-time dump method where I share it one time, but after that I don't expect to open it again. So this is more for sharing with other people. Let's see, notepad. So I'll temporarily write down. I wouldn't want to save it. So if you do show password, you can just click OK, and it should make the encrypted version of the sensitive documentation, and it's in compressed mode or zip folder. And if you click, you see that it has a password, it's compressed. Let's say if somebody finds this encrypted folder, they want to access it, but then they find out, oh no, I can't access it because it has a password. And let's say if they try to access it by unzipping it, or you can choose extract files or extract it here. Let's see. So for this purpose, I'll just click auto rename, but if you didn't have this file, it will still ask enter the password. And if I don't know the password, let's see, I just typed in what I think is correct. It tells me it's the wrong password, and I think it's this file. Let's see. No, not this file, but I believe it is this one. Yes, number 1. So that's the renamed version. And if I try to open it, then there is no information for me to read. So that's how it is encrypted and protected. So let's try to unlock it again. Let's see. And let's say I knew the password. When I click OK, it makes the correct version. As you can see, there's no password protection now. And now I can read what the encrypted information is. So after I'm done accessing this sensitive file, I would ideally want to delete it properly. Unfortunately, just dragging to recyclable bin doesn't work because it still stays within the system. This is something I learned recently, which is when you press Shift plus delete, it doesn't necessarily delete completely from your system. It just deletes the information where the computer points where the file is, but it's still within the system or your hard drive or your solid state drive. So the only way is to use zeroing method. and that is for a separate tutorial. But if you look at my documentation on my Google Drive, you'll see that I have linked how to do this with a CCleaner and a Drive Wiper feature. And let me show which company that is real quick before I end this. And it is ccleaner.com/ccleaner, and their Piriform. And that is how you encrypt and delete your sensitive information after you use it. Thank you very much.